So it's time to check out Surya's interview with Anupama Chopra for the Hollywood Reporter India. It's called InFocus Surya. I've heard it's a really, really good interview. So if you haven't seen the original video, I'll put the link to it in the description below. You can check it out on the main channel. Kanguva is in theaters. I'll be watching it soon and my review will be on the main channel. But if you have seen it, do let me know your thoughts in the comments about it. As I was away, I missed a lot of videos. So the reactions to them are coming soon. But if you want to watch them early, they'll be available to the members first. And some member only videos like song reaction. So if you want to become a member to support the channel and enjoy those perks, click on the join button to know more. And without any delay, let's have a look.
Surya, so lovely to have you on the Hollywood Reporter India.
Good set.
I've been chasing you for a while. I love that finally you have to sit down and do this.
I'm finally
Does
here.
it like it?
But really been looking forward to meet you. The right time, I think. I don't know, sometimes I feel I don't have much to talk. I don't have anything to say. I might not have a very interesting conversation is what I don't deep down think. But always enjoyed every conversation you've had with any actor or director. It gives me a lot of insight. I learn a lot out of your interviews. So I'm hoping I can part some of my experience, something which will be worthwhile to anybody who's watching this and spending this time with us.
I am sure. But you know, as I was prepping for this interview, I was thinking how amazing it is that now there is so much collaboration between industries. True. That I'm interviewing you in Mumbai for a Tamil film which will also be released in Hindi.
Multiple languages.
Isn't that amazing?
Amazing.
Yeah, and tell me, Surya, as an actor, as a producer, as a filmmaker, how have these broadened horizons shaped your choices?
I think I'm very, very blessed. It's been 27 years, and I think one of the top most directors, the best of the best directors in Tamil, I've been lucky, fortunate, blessed to work with.
It's interesting that I have not seen that many Surya films. Have I? I'm just thinking which film I've seen of his. Like I've seen him as Rolex. I've seen him Suriya through. That's one film I've seen him throughout, and I really liked his performance. But other than that, I will be watching 24, if not already, before Kanguva comes out, and I'll be watching Kanguva. So, but there's a lot more to watch.
And every time there is a low in my career, again, a director, it can be a male or a female, their dream project, it happens to, like, it comes to me, and they think I can still pull it off, and I can, be that character for them. Because any dream project of theirs will be a work of 3 years, 4 years. A lot of layers would have been added to it.
That's
so
interesting.
when they think the project is close to their heart, I don't know what to say. I feel very blessed it still comes to me. And now other language directors also, I'm able to sit with them across table and whom I've looked upon, whom I've in awe you have seen them. And they're not those stars, legends. They are right next to me. They're offering coffee, tea, and I'm able to have a conversation for 3-4 hours. And oh wow, did I actually spend time with sir? I of course spent time with the sir also, which I can't forget. I had amazing conversations with him. So everywhere, be it actors also, it's become very easy to meet with them, spend time with them. I'm spending some time in Bombay and just going for a coffee or a lunch, dinner. It's become much more easier. Last 2-3 years, a big, it's exploded. It's become so easy. It's, I think, one of the best times. Yes.
So but are you consciously, let's say Kanguva, right? Is it, I'm sure it was consciously.
I have to say the posters for Kanguva have been amazing till now. Even the, release in 4 days, release in 3 days that's coming out, even those look epic.
Designed to be a pan-India film, especially with the casting?
So it was not, we didn't start off as a pan-India film. It's actually for a global audience, I would say. Because of the OTT which happened for 3 years, and everybody, we all were locked down, and we saw multiple films, foreign language films. You just switch of a button, you get another language, and it was penetrated, and we can't tell our stories what we used to tell before 2018 or 19, whatever those storylines which were very convincing and which is okay to come to theaters. I think there's a major shift in the genres. There is like dark comedy happening. Rajni sir is able to do completely a different film. Mammootty sir is giving Katal and he's shocking people. It is not predictable anymore. You don't predict, okay, this actor, this director, they are going to give such a film. That is not happening. I think that's happening with Shiva sir's film also. His line of films, the previous line of films, whatever he has given, and
Not seen any of
audience,
them.
fans, anybody who's watching the trailer, this is not what we expected. Like, what is this suddenly happening? Is the immediate first reaction, and that happened to me also when Shiva sir narrated the film. I thought, wow, like, yes, if not now, then when? Because the world was very different.
If not now, then when? Nice.
I've said this before because I'm in promotions. Maybe I'm repeating this, but we have seen.
Yeah, that's one thing a lot of people don't realize, that when you do promotions, you're actually saying the same thing about your same film, right? And you don't even realize you're saying the same thing over and over and again. Maybe you're used to it. But I think because he's doing for the first time, or not first time, I said, like, doesn't do it much. So he realizes that said this before a lot. So I'll mention it that I've said it before.
In Braveheart, we have seen 300, we have seen Game of Thrones, and like they are set in a very different world. What if we take our audience few hundred years back? We have 2,500 years history with us, and what if a similar situation is being put? Like, what if 5 islands have different economic situations, different power?
Okay, revealing too much.
Game, and what if they stand for certain values and they stick by it, and when there's a conflict, what happens? If our people are taken 1,000 years back, how they would have behaved? And that's how
Is that what excited you?
That's what excited me, because the conflicts were larger, the challenges were larger, the drama was bigger. There was warfare, there was a promise, and to what extent this character will go to keep up that promise. And what if he has to protect his island? And what if there's a foreign invasion? These, you only watch films and you enjoy as an audience. To be that character and to take our audience and make them part of that film. Because I think that's how we win audience. They laugh with you, they cry with you, they are in that emotion. Shiva's big time into emotions, and he's a visual director. He was an editor from the age of 13, and then he became a cinematographer and then a director. So every scene is visually staged. So it was a complete new experience for me. And to have this warfare on ships, we have seen, of course, Bahubali started, everything, open doors for all of us. But this again is set in a very different world. For Indian cinema, I'm hoping this will be another different world. I don't see
Liking
a
the
reference.
visuals a lot.
That's so
In
exciting.
films, I don't see a reference.
Yeah.
There might be episodes here and there, but as a film, as a whole, there's no one single film I can say no, this is going to be like this.
But Surya, tell me this. So for you, the 2 films that really kind of took you to a non-Tamil speaking audience were, of course, Surya Rai Potro and Jai Bhim, right?
I would go back Gajini and Singham also.
Of course, but we also saw the Hindi versions,
Correct,
right?
correct,
At that time, for us who were not watching Tamil films regularly, we saw whatever Force, we saw Amir's Gajni, and love those movies. But these 2 films really kind of made everybody sit up and say, "Oh my God, who's this actor? What is he?" It was a real, I think, a real sort of, this whole idea of not having to do a Hindi film to be a pan-Indian actor.
Yep.
Right? That's what has happened. You're all now pan-Indian actors without having to do Hindi movies, which is amazing. But these 2 films were very much rooted in reality, right? This film is a period fantasy. For you as an actor, how do you create a performance in a world where anything is possible?
I think there is a market, and I have to maintain a market for me, for my director. If I had to say, I have to go back for Eda Mariva, a film which I did with Murugadas sir. We didn't have a budget when we started speaking. And when we did Singham, we got the budget to do Eda Mariva.
Okay.
So you have to keep a market where you can tell stories, bigger stories, more important stories, and do this and come back to this is what I feel. This film, I think it's every film. There's when there's action and when there is true emotion, there's a lot of takeaway. I believe in takeaways. I truly believe in takeaways.
Cinema should give you takeaways.
Yeah, when you go back home, somewhere it should change you as a person. It should make you think. It should make you debate. It should make you know.
That's interesting because when you talk about, massy commercial films, most people say entertainment. No one's here to learn, or this is not school, or like those kind of statements you generally get by the actors or the people involved. But him saying that, like, even if I'm making a big film, I want people to take away something. Maybe it's experience, not he's not talking about learnings, but experience, a thought, maybe something to think about, to ponder about. Maybe that's a good thing. That's what cinema can do, right? Like, the potential of cinema is so much, right? Like, why just to stop here? That's the thing.
Learn something is what I somewhere truly believe. I would like to quote this because 2002 I did Kaka Kaka, and 2002 to 2005 batch of IPS officers, most of them have seen Kaka Kaka.
And become cops because of what you did.
They have become IPS officers.
Yes.
And college students have become IPS officers. People who have left their job and they have written IPS exam and they have become IAS officer. And I recently met a district magistrate who said, after watching Kaka Kaka, I have become this.
Wow.
So movies, I think, should make you grow as a better person, should give you that perspective of life. Singham was also there. People recognized me. I was in Varanasi. People recognized me for Singham, and of course they want to take a photo with me, picture with me. But certain lives change after watching a film. Jai Bhim, that's what Jai Bhim did. And there was like bylaws were changed in a state. Chief Minister was able to watch it, and collectors were called to take the population, the census, and 3 lakh people's life changed after watching Jai Bhim. I'm hoping Kanguva also. I think anything can happen in life, but family, friends, and faith is most important. Life will keep happening. Life will just go on. Career will go on. For me also, it's a realization. Sometimes I feel like I missed out a lot when my kids were growing up. And maybe with Joe, in Tamil they say, "Onnu ilandada unnu kadaikum."
What is that?
You lose only when you lose something, you get something.
Yeah.
So
you have to make sacrifices.
You have to choose what you are okay
कुछ पाने के लिए कुछ खोना पड़ता है. I guess that's the saying in Hindi.
to lose, and know what you're benefiting. Is it worth it?
Yeah.
So I'm also learning. I've done mistakes. I'm also learning. But I think I'm hoping Kanguva will be a balance of both. Like, I'm coming back to your question. I'm hoping I'm answering your question. It'll be a balance of both action, completely a new visual, and also will be strong on emotions.
And have a takeaway.
Yes, hopefully.
The interesting things, like I said before, was like a film like this, there are no rules, right? Because it's a fantasy world. Did you and Shiva sir have conversations about what the rules of this world should be? Because it has to work within its own logic, but that logic can be anything.
It again comes with their deities. Like one village, one island, their deity will be fire, and one will be water, and one will be actually blood. That will define their characters, the community, the way they speak, what they stand for. There's no rule, law, nothing happens in the land and that island where they pray to the blood god. There's no rule set at all. And the water, they are much more calmer people. Fire, again, they have their own quality. So these things are said that designs their characters, behaviors, speeches, dialogues, and of course the costume, the background, the world. It's all happens accordingly. Shiva also is very good with literature. Any book you ask in Tamil, anything you speak, he knows a lot about Tamil literature, and somewhere in the process he will quote this, quote that, and the important lines will be inspired from literature and all that. So I completely enjoy the process more than filmmaking. Like, movies happen, like you start, you finish a film, but the journey with Shiva was super positive. I've never seen a person who has lost his cool, lost his control. Like, we had 3,000 people, we had budget restrictions, we had time restrictions, but everything just happened in a very nice.
I think I've talked about this before also, that he's very sweet and doesn't say much, and that's very interesting. In another interview also talked about how Rajapuri is different, other directors are different. Everyone does it their way, and it's fascinating that there's no one single way to do things, right? You can do it any way you want.
Calm way with a lot of mutual respect for each other. There's no conflict. There can be any conflict, creatively, and anything can put you off. And to sustain that 170 days of shoot with a lot of satisfaction and happiness, I think the entire crew had that mood because of Shiva's behavior and his mood. He would walk up to, even if it's a lightman, if he's done some mistake or spoken something, he will not yell it with a mic. He will walk up to the lightman, or any costume person has done some mistake. He will leave the monitor, walk up to him and speak, sort it out. Actors. Yeah. So it changes the whole mood of the...
Yeah. How do you approach your roles, Surya? Is there a acting process that you follow, or is it...
There's no secret ingredient to it.
But is there, are you one of those actors who will prep, who will want rehearsals, workshops, or do you just do it in the moment?
I go by my directors. So with Suriya Potra, Sudha, whom I've met a long time back, I think UR days, she was a
lady
with Mani sir, and she used to say, in a car shot where I get hit and shot, and I'll be almost taken to the hospital. I liked her briefing. I don't know if Manisa will get offended. I liked her briefing for that shot. Oh wow!
What would you say?
Certain emotions, certain expressions which she said as a reference for me to think about was like, oh wow, I should reach there. I should touch that. That was more interesting, and the way to think about the situation, how an actor can think, was very interesting with Sudha's perspective. So after that, many incidents happen, and of course, Irudi Chutru, Kala, Sala Kadus, very good, and Maddie's film, of course. And I thought sometime in my career I should work with Sudha, is what I thought. She's my Rakhi sister also, and this happened. Suriya Potra happened, and when I was the lowest point of my time, Suriya Potra happened, and the process was so fresh. It felt like I'm again breathing fresh air. I'm just trying to tell you about the process. We had readings. We had actors sitting and reading and saying how to what pitch and how will he talk, what dialect, and will he talk at a stretch, will he pause in between. Maybe I've always had a pause in between on the way I speak. Let's try continuously talking. And again, a person from the Air Force, body languages, this, that, so many things, iterations.
So lots of prep.
Yeah. But with Lokesh, when I did a Rolex, I didn't get the scene paper till morning.
No.
Yes.
And you didn't know you're cutting that man's arm off?
I didn't know. Yeah, I knew that was happening.
He's a bad guy. You knew that.
Yeah, of course, with Kamal sir, being in the film, and Vijay Sethupathi, and so many things happening. I know I'm coming the last 2 minutes of the film, and it was a half a day's shoot. There was no prep.
Crazy, once you think about it, half the shoot, man. That was really a long shot. 2 minutes you say, but 2 minutes is what we saw. But when you think about it, it takes a long time to shoot that 2 minutes. So if you say half a day they shot without him knowing what he had to do, that's wow, well done.
It up, cameras there, and then the dialogue is given to you. And this is what you're going to do, behave. We will capture you. Maybe hear one dialogue, maybe if you like to walk on the table, you can walk on the table. It was all just candid, spontaneous. Before the day, I said 20 years I've never smoked on screen.
Yeah.
I thought I should never do that. And okay, I'm a bad guy. Why should I bring in Suriya inside? Let me break all rules. And just before the shot, give me a cigarette. And suddenly cigarette came in, and then we started shooting. So every director, it happens in a different way. With Shiva also, he's worked with Rajani sir, he worked with Ajit sir. So this is my process. அப்படியா இவங்க ரீடிங் எல்லாம் பண்ணுவீங்களா? You will be sitting for 40 days and reading papers, so don't expect all that from me. I'm going to give you the dialogues that day morning, 5:30 I write in the morning, and I'm going to give you the
Wow.
dialogues.
Oh my
Go on
God.
set and shoot.
He knows, we know the story, we know what's happening, the sequence and everything.
Mota mota, you know what's going to happen.
The,
Yeah.
the dialogues are finalized
It's such a Hindi thing to say. Mota mota, you know.
just before
Amazing.
we roll. So I'm thrown. So suddenly in one well, in a swimming pool, or sometimes from that 11-story building, I need to survive. I need to learn how to survive.
So he's basically a director's actor.
You know, since you brought up Rolex, I have to ask. I'm still amazed at how much impact you had with such little screen time, right? It was unbelievable what happened.
Bad world, a bad wild world. They like the bad.
But so it was like, I mean, it's a damn fun film. Like, so we've been on a ride and you know, you've gone up, you've gone down, you've done all of it. And then this character walks in and you seem like the nicest man on the planet.
Okay.
What did you dig into to become that guy?
Actually, a good question. Usually, I depend on my old memories. I dig into old graves, something which I've really closed and I don't want to open at all.
That's something you felt.
I depend on that. I feel like I need to get that draw emotions from my own experiences, past experience.
That I've heard a lot, you know, like if you want to cry in a scene, so whatever the situation is, you just think about something very emotional in your life that happened and, you know, try to get those emotions out, you know, to involved in this process. That's something I've heard a lot of actors that they do this.
This is what I most of the time rely on. But I don't know, something happened with Lokesh. I think Kamal sir was also coming to the shooting spot. I had to finish before he comes. I can't act in front of him. He was landing, reaching a shooting spot at 3 o'clock. Okay, before break, before 1 o'clock, we have to finish the whole thing and just be ready with the regular costumes and say thank you to Kamal sir. And I was also catching a flight. So maybe all that was happening. That mood was, I think, set by Lokesh, I would say. I didn't have to really go back into those memories, but somewhere those dialogues were there. This is 27 years of hard work. It was not just given by someone, and somewhere he was able to say certain things which I tried to own up and try to say, what if this guy is in that world and how true he can be, is what I thought. I didn't think beyond anything, didn't go into the past, didn't go too much into the future. I didn't know like we will be discussing a standalone Rolex film and all that. For the longest time, I want to do something with Kamal sir and Raj Kamal Films. I wanted to do something, and it was like getting delayed for the longest time. But I thought, okay, let's do this.
This is it.
Good choice. We're all waiting for whatever the Rolex spin-off is. Coming back to Kanguva, tell me what that title means.
Kanguva means it's actually piece of a fire.
I think in every interview, you cannot have the interview without talking about Rolex. First of all, it doesn't come out to do a lot of interviews, so there's no other option. So once you got the opportunity, you have to use it.
Kangu is a term in Tamil. Kangu can be a piece of volcanic material, a piece of fire. Kangu becomes Kanguva. It's a name given to a person. Kangu becomes
in Hindi, what
Kanguvan,
would be?
actually.
So implying
Kanguvan
that,
is called Kanguva.
implying that he's fiery.
Koila
Can
or
we say that?
Angar.
The whole island, they will have different, it can be derived from fire, different names derived from fire. Like if I'm a
Elements.
follower of Lord Muruga, Kartikeya, then they can call you Saravana, they can call you Sivakumaran, they can call you Shanmugan. So many names comes out of the one. So that's how it is. Yeah.
So, when your producer, Mr. Nyanavil Raja, was asked about whether this film will do 1,000 crores, he said, why are you limiting it? It can do 2,000, right? But at the audio launch of Mayaragan, have I said it correctly?
Correct.
Sort of.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Wow.
Yeah, I was right. Let's go back.
It can do 2,000, right? But at the audio launch of Mayaragan,
Miyadagan. I say Miyadagan. Miyadagan. Yeah, okay, just R difference. I get so many comments. You're saying it wrong. How could you say it
I said
wrong?
it correctly.
Correct.
Sort of.
Perfect.
Wow.
Weird again.
I won't say it again because I got it right the first time. At that audio launch, Suriya, you said to fans that don't bother about collections, right? Celebrate stories, celebrate characters. And I think that's so true. Why do we care what a film does or doesn't? But the truth is, such an ambitious film, such a large-scale film like Kanguva will invariably be measured against box office. As the sort of face of it, how do you process that?
See,
Very, very good question. I want to know what he has to say.
when Nayagan released, I think Pandian also released Rajini sir's film, and there were like 10 films releasing at a time, and nobody spoke about collection. It was only like was Nayagan good, or for the other film was good, or this good, that good, and maybe in a film distributor circle or pioneers, very elderly producers, they might have known figures or spoken about it, but in the recent past, after social media, I don't know when, even like a 12-year-old, 13-year-old is speaking about collection.
First day, first show, what was the collection?
Yeah, and the art is completely like taken for granted, and only the commerce, economics is comes into table discussion, dining table, and everything. Like from school class, from the in between class, they speak about this. My hero's collection was more, and yours was.
Yeah, the fan clubs have not
yeah. Let's challenge how when your hero is going to give an opening like that. So, somebody should start talking about art, and somebody should start talking about what the craft is. And I think Mayor Lagan for me is a.
The thing is why everyone talks about the box office today. The reason is that not everyone can, as humans we need a measuring tool to understand what is good, what is not good, like in art. And the problem with art is you cannot put it on a measure scale because it's very subjective, and human mind always wants something objective, something clear. And that's why in today's time box office is measurable. So you can see this movie made 100 crore, this movie made 20 crores, so that means this is better than this. It's very easy, it's maths, and it's very easy for a brain to understand and make it objective. But that's a problem with art. It doesn't work like that. The 20 crore film was made on a budget of 2 crore, so it's a successful. The 100 crore film was made on a 200 crore budget, so it was not really successful. So a lot of these permutations and combinations, and yes, box office matters, but for the producers. But it became a marketing tool by the producers themselves, that they made it openly. Oh, we have crossed 100 and 1000, and now it's become benchmarks, and that's the a standard for success. And that's what people have understood, because easy to understand, that's why they have taken up and they follow it. And now it'll be hard to take that away from them. Before it was used to be stars. How many stars the film got? 3, 4, 5, 2. That defined if the film is good or not. But then that also kind of stopped and went away, and now it's all about box office, the money. Everyone debating about, oh, your movie made this money, your movie made this money, it's not good, it's not bad, it's great, only money matters. So, and in the world where money matters, it makes sense that why people want to just look at that and not the art and the creative side of it.
It's contemporary literature. It's about how people are living now these days, and what we value, what is each and everyone's culture, lifestyle, opinion, faith, ethics, bonding. It speaks about current lifestyle. I don't see any other film documenting all this in the recent past, and that's why Mayor Lagan is a very, very important film.
He said it differently. Mayagan. Okay. And actually showed it the film to my, if you haven't seen my review, check it out. But I showed the film to my parents and they loved it.
They have to come, immerse themselves, get cleansed and go. That was the ultimate wish, and not talk about money. It's they should be least bothered. Because as a producer, I'm saying I'm not bothered, but I made enough profit in that film. Any producer, if I think like if they make 10%, 15% profit, that's good enough.
Wow.
Definitely, Nyanuel is manifesting. I believe in the universe. I believe in the words which you talk. I believe in attitude. I'm hoping my producer, what he's manifesting, what he really truly wants, he achieves. And I truly want, again, people's love and people's satisfaction, people's celebration in theaters. I want this to be a timeless film. How did they achieve all this with our Indian CGI crew? How did they put together? How did they it was all blue matte when we shot, and for me also to be a very different film. How did one director take it forward from his previous films? What a huge jump. Thank you for this experience. Tamil film, Indian film, we have not got this experience. Thank you for giving us first time a 3D experience, a 4D experience. So this is all going to happen with the Kanguva. So I'm looking forward for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But when
That's interesting, that you want the film to be great, right? Like, you don't want it to fail. You want it to do amazing. It has to be great for that. Like, I hope we don't need to force ourselves to like the film more, because all the efforts and the ambition and the passion behind it, all of that is great. But I think a lot of films have that. But at the end of the day, what matters is how the product works, how the film works, how the parameters of the objective parameters to judge it, how the storytelling, how the performance is, how the technical aspects of it. So all of it needs to come together for that big experience that you say, yes, it's a great film, I loved it, and not like, yeah, they tried best and good attempt, and you don't want to say all that. You want to be like as honest with the film as the people making it were.
a film like Mayor,
Perfect.
okay, it was loved by the critics, but it underperformed at the box office, right? As a
Oh, really?
filmmaker, Sudha, do you rethink what you want to take punts on, or are you fearless as an artist?
I'm supremely proud of Mayor, I would say.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I say again, you're referring to box office numbers which
Yeah.
didn't perform.
Right.
So we don't even want to have that as a conversation, because I made more than
Nice.
25% profit.
And that's great.
That's great.
Yeah.
When I thought I 10% profit, I made more than 25% profit with the film. So who knows what defines a film's success? A producer knows more than a public recreating and saying underperformed in the box office. Every film has one number and one figure. Water can be sold for 10 rupees and can be sold for 500 rupees. Who's deciding and where it is and what. So it depends who's finally benefiting and who's finally happy.
Yeah.
So well put, man. I think people will flood his office now after hearing all this.
Why should we be happy if a water is selling for 500 rupees?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why should we oh wow, they sold that bottle for 1,000 rupees. Why should you be worried about
That's
that?
not necessarily the best
Yes.
water. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So you are
So many people in Bollywood need to hear this.
fearless as a filmmaker?
I would want to. That's the reason we started 2D, and that's the reason I want to do my kind of films. I don't want a market dictating or saying what I should do and what I should not do. Film's profit should not be the ultimate the thing of doing this film and you have to do this. I balance both. I do Kanguva, I also do Jai Bhim. I'm also looking forward for other films which I can produce. And as I said, close to heart films is again where I go around and come back to. Films like Kaka Kaka or what. I went to a resort, and I've gone there 2-3 times, and I've met this person who was actually cleaning the table. And the fourth visit to the resort, he was the resort's manager.
Wow.
And he came and told me, sir, Gajini line is my favorite line. Kashtappattu vela seyakodadu, ishtapattu vela seyano. It's not about how hard you're working. It's about how you love doing your work. How much with what love you do your work. I think that's given me this position. So I've really been happy with whatever you've seen me cleaning tables. Now I'm the resort manager, and that philosophy helped me. Somewhere one film, Gajini is a very different film, but one line in that film has changed one person's side. So somewhere I feel very satisfied giving film.
That is the whole point, right? The satisfaction you get at the end of the day. If you can sleep well in your bed at night, that's what at all matters.
like 12th fail. So those films have inspired a lot. I feel I'm living a very, very blessed life. Very, very blessed life. I think all of us, I should say. A recent study says 10% of the Indian population, like I would say, like, okay, 90% of India's population is actually earning less than 70,000 rupees, and the average is actually 25,000 rupees per month, and it only goes down.
Yeah.
It only goes below. So it's the 10% who's actually earning more than 75,000 rupees, and only 2.5% is actually paying income tax. Of course, it can vary here and there with tax regulations and pictures. But imagine only 3% of the population, if I'm right, I hope I'm right with whatever research I've done, 3% of the population is earning more than 7 lakhs a year.
Yeah.
And we are definitely within that. For me, 5 crores is enough in a year. I'm earning much more than that. So
Wow.
I'm not losing it.
Him giving all these figures, first of all, his understanding. He's not ignorant. He knows what's happening around. He has done his research, and as he has his figures clear, and he knows himself. He gives out a number. This is enough for me, and I'm earning more than that. Like, where do you see in other interviews, man? You never see an actor, especially from Bollywood, be so. Not that they no one like that. I'm not gonna say that because I have not know everyone and everyone's interview, but mostly you don't see that.
I'm only benefiting. Anybody is saying like, no, I've not done this, I've not done well, my movies have not opened up. I'm getting the best offers. I'm getting the best stories. I'm getting more than what I want. I do have a big responsibility. I have my NGO. I really want to that to be self-sustaining. I don't want that to stop. But otherwise, money, definitely, I started off my career with money because I want money. I started, but it's the faith I want to not shake. My audience, my fans, my brothers, sisters, I would say, I would not want to lose that faith.
Yeah.
So every time a director comes, as I said, an important film keeps coming my way. Whatever the box office numbers are, I might not have given a 200 crore film earlier, but nice films keep coming, like Vetrimara's Vadi Vasilis.
I was just going to ask, what
so
is
all
happening?
those
Have you
cult
started
films.
shooting?
We did 2 days of shoot, and he's still finishing his previous film with
That's
the
right. Yeah.
And then Dhanasar is also waiting. My bulls are also waiting. So we should hopefully start so.
That just sounds so exciting. I want information on all the other projects, but first I have to ask you, in a lot of her interviews, Jyothika says that you give 200%, right? To your NGO, to your acting career, to your production company, to your kids, to your marriage. And I think enough men don't get asked this, but how do you do this work-life balance, especially now that you're living between Mumbai and Chennai?
I think I'm doing, but I don't think I'm doing enough.
Not enough balance?
Not enough balance is what I think. I'm still.
It's
I still
never
have to
enough.
more. For me, definitely priority is family. I'm saying this, but I don't know if I'm genuinely balancing it right. I've definitely missed a lot of years with.
That's always a guilt, you can call it, or like you can never have that right balance. You'll always think it can be better, and that's life, right? Like you want things to be perfect, but it's never perfect. You feel like, oh, this is not enough, this can be better, it can be better, and that's how you keep improving in life.
My kids, with my wife, I've missed a lot of beautiful moments. I'm just trying to get better and better every year. Like every 5 years, I think as a person, you keep changing. Life changes around you as you grow. A lot of things change, but I would want to retain it. I would want to balance what I've lost. Like correct what I've lost. So that definitely keeps. Joe is very kind. I keep saying Joe's like my teacher, my philosopher. I love to sit and talk to her, listen to her. Sometimes when people are like really deep, when they see life in a very different perspective, you would want to sit and spend time with them, understand life from them, and you want to become a better person. And somewhere they help you and help you grow as a better person, not only every time professionally, but as a person you would want to become a better person. I find that with Joe even now, like husband, wife, yes, but a great companion, a great friend, a great philosopher. So all that. So I try my best to be as good as Joe. I don't know, I can never match that, but I definitely learn a lot from her.
That's so lovely. Is it true? I read this online that you moved to Mumbai because she was working in a web series,
See,
which I think is just amazing, by the way, if it's true.
no, I can be very open. I can say this. At the age of 18, 19, she shifted to Chennai.
Yeah.
And almost another 27 years she was in Chennai. It was only 18 years in Mumbai and almost 27 years in Chennai. And she was with me, with my family, and she gave up her career and her friends, her relatives, and her Bandra lifestyle. Everything was given up, and she was in Chennai. But after COVID, there was a need. Multiple things happened. Her career also was coming into a plateau. The writing was again repetitive. We in fact started 2D because there was no women-centric films or films which were made for 12-year-old, 30-year-old, 13-year-old kids. We were only, like my children also, they just watched Marvel and superhero films, and we had to go for Walt Disney films. And nothing in our Indian film industry we could offer the 13-year-olds, early teens.
Interesting.
Joe also loved doing. Every time she actually battles it more harder. Like I get the best directors, and she every time works with a new director. The craft is the teething process happens, the learning process happens, a lot of little falling down, getting up, all that happens. But always she's worked with most of the directors are first time debut directors. It was always happening to her. But when this happened, shift happened, and Shrikant happened, or
Shaitan, she's had a massive blockbuster.
Beautiful film, and with Excel, Dabba Katal happened. I think the writing itself was very, very different. Katal happened there. Like sometimes, like you are in the Tamil film industry for the longest time, but writers for women, you are able to find in other industries, and she's happy spending.
That's interesting that he says that. I think it's been mentioned before. I would say maybe I think every industry that's the issue, but I feel from the looks of it, it feels like Hindi, Malayalam also. I would say the most, with women, good writing for women characters also. It's not just male dominant.
Time here. She's happy spending time again with her parents after 27 years. Like whatever a man needs, a woman also needs that.
Thank you.
I think I'm a very late bloomer, very late, understanding and all
Still
that.
early.
She needs those vacations. She needs those friends. She needs financial independence. She needs respect. She needs her gym time. She needs her fitness, whatnot. Whatever we crave for, I think they equally need it. And why take away her time from her parents and her lifestyle and what she loves to do? And when are we going to do that change? Why it's always me, I, me, myself is what the thought was. And I'm happy to see that growth in her as an actor also here. I would only wish and hope more beautiful films and more beautiful writings happen for her. My kids also, they were part of a IB school where there are only one or two IB schools in Chennai, and their subjects, what they love to do. And it's a blessing when kids are studying well and they want to really grow out and excel and get good at it. And we saw good opportunities here in a lot of IB schools in Bombay. And so the shift has happened. So I'm balancing between Chennai and Bombay. It's I take away for at least 10 days in a month. I don't shoot at all. 20 days, I don't mind doing 18 hours shift, 20 hours shift. I can work, but 10 days I don't do anything. There's no appointment, there's no phone call, there's no office in Bombay.
You just switched off.
In Bombay, I'm just quite here. But of course, I meet a few of my industry friends here. But otherwise, there's no office happening in Bombay. Happy to walk with my daughter or to a park or go for a drive, go for an ice cream. Take my son for basketball. When my family comes here, they visit often. They go to Hill Road. They do those platform shoppings. She's able to see up. I negotiated. They said 500. I got it for 200. I'm able to negotiate and buy it from Hill Road and all that. So they are having a wonderful time. It's so important.
That is, I think boys suck at bargaining. I don't know why. Not generalizing. Maybe they are better people, but if my mother goes and they say 500, my mother's like directly, no 100. Or no, 500 directly. If I go, I say 500 too much. They say 499. I'm like, yes, okay, done.
Those childhood days are important. To be on streets is so important. I'm happy my children are on the streets, walking, playing, mingling with other kids more, all that.
How lovely. How lovely. I want to know more about the upcoming films. Any conversations with Lokesh about Rolex spin-off?
Movies, you don't know when what happens. You suddenly, in 2 months' time, a new project happens, and a project which was supposed to start 3 years, way back, it's still on the process, still happening. Lokesh and I, we spoke. There are two ideas, Rolex and Irumbukai Mayavi. As I told you, his dream project is supposed to be Irumbukai Mayavi. I don't know if it's again coming back to me or a bigger actor. We don't know. But the intent is
He said it. He put it out in the universe. Let's see what happens.
there. The thought is there to work with each other. We have a producer also waiting, but his commitments, every time it gets bigger and bigger for Lokesh, like, Kamal sir and Rajani sir, and his commitments. So I'm doing 2-3 in between. I have to finish. One starts, sometimes it takes 2 years, sometimes it takes 4 months. So I'm hoping it'll happen.
Yeah.
Universe. I believe in manifesting and universe, and hopefully I should get a good film.
You have finished Suriya 44 with Karthik Subaraj, who's a very, very fascinating director. Now, the reveal and that one look and all looks very gangster swag, but he's saying it's a love story.
I don't know the balance, what he's thinking in mind. I saw a lot of action happening, so I was inclined more into that.
Right.
We need to see if he's adding some songs and making it look different.
And is it true you're in Dhoom 4?
No, even I got to read somewhere.
Not at all.
No, not at all.
Okay, one last question. Confirm or deny, is Karthi part of Kanguva?
It'll be a beautiful surprise. I don't want to spoil it.
Okay, so
That
we've been
that
waiting
means
to see
yes.
you two together for a while, and maybe it'll happen.
Looking forward. I have not seen the final version of the film as yet. Like, still going for censor, and still the final music version is happening. The background score is happening, and Devi is like a rock star.
Yeah.
He's completely, given a beautiful lift for the film. So hoping I can watch it as the censor is getting done or before. But yes, it'll be a beautiful experience. Nyanuel, my producers, watched it, and he's
happy.
really, really happy. Yeah.
That's so exciting. Cannot wait to see it, Surya. All the best for the film, and thank you so much.
Thank you. Hi, this is Surya. You're watching me on Hollywood Reporter India. Please do subscribe and like and share.
Making these stars say like, share, subscribe is very, fun. But what an interview. A lot of, again, insights. I think a lot of people is going to come behind him after what he said with, they all want to make films with 2D entertainment because they don't care about box office. Not that they don't care about, like, that's not the goal, ultimate goal, that box office, you have to make more money. It's more about the stories they want to tell to the platform. And, Surya using his star power or his influence, to get good cinema out, that's amazing. And Made Again, amazing film. And I love that someone is out there backing those films there. That's really, really good for everyone. And when you watch these interviews, you do get influenced a bit with all the talk about how much passion and this and that and what they wanted to do. And a lot of people say that, but it's all about the final product. And if you see those things what you said in the interview in the product, they try it. If they get it right or not, that's separate, but at least you see the attempt to do that. Sometimes what happens, there are interviews where actor or the producer say these things, the actor says these things, but when you watch the film, you don't see it. You don't see the attempt. You feel like they just, like a superficial level, they just wanted to do this, but they just made the typical films we have seen many, many times before. They just packaged it in a way to just, show off, oh, we did something different. That's where it really gets very annoying, and you feel really sad that you're going, like, you're kind of cheating the audience. But if you see the attempt, if it's done right or not, it lands or not, that's a separate thing. And at the end of the film, you understand, you would try to break it down. But if you don't even see the attempt, you just see they're just trying to make the same thing which you have seen multiple times, just with the different idea, different visual identity. Yeah, that's not good. But high hopes with Kanguva. I hope they deliver. There's Kanguva 2 also coming. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below, and you can check out the other interview I reacted to with Surya, and I will see you next time.